My name is Mate Jokas. I work with Wilmot Development Foundation Uganda as the Executive Director. Wilmot Development Foundation is a youth-led organization that looks at empowering underprivileged communities of Uganda through practical skills development. Now, in line with the microfinance sector, the impact of microfinance on women is that they are not yet widely spread, including the ones that we have currently. You know that only a few women have the chance to join this kind of microfinance sector. Now, in line with the new model, the new norm of knowing microfinance as only the banks that we have today, it's unfortunate that most of the rural women who are especially deep in the villages are not even aware of the services that different banks offer. But because of the new normal where we have tried to introduce what we call the Village Savings and Loans Associations model in support of the microfinance, you realize that some of the women have got now the chance to learn about the performance and also improving their livelihood through access to different services ranging from loans that support their businesses, where they are able so to improve their livelihoods at the village level. What makes it different or difficult for most of the women is that microfinance sectors require collateral from these women, which they don't have. Remember, the distribution of these services are mostly in line with, they are mostly in favor of men, leaving out the women who are outside there. Now, what is the take for the women is that most of them are left out without, understanding what could be their need when it comes to, access to such services, be it loans in support of their businesses. Now, for those who have access to such a kind of services, it means they have access to collateral where they can put as omusingo to a local person out there. So not everyone really has that collateral to give in order to access the loan from the microfinance sector. But to those who have access, it means some of them end up in debts, which they're not able to finance at the end of it. What about those who have no collateral, but they have access, they have what it takes? For example, when you look at the youth of today, they have the energy, they have the resources, they have the ideas, but they don't have the finances to do that. Really, the microfinance businesses in support of the young people, the answer is no. It's not providing equal opportunities. My take on bureaucracy is that the requirements for both the women outside there, our mothers, and the young people who have just graduated with brilliant ideas, it is still so stiff that they cannot penetrate the ladders of the microfinance sector. What's the comparison? Is that when you compare with the Micro Savings and Loans Associations model, which different organizations like Care International and others, which they are using, is that members have a clear path on how they should access the loans from their fellow groups, which they have formed. What about the microfinance? How comes that the banks, they require you to come with people who are going to stand in for you? But when they are coming to demand you money, they come with a full force. They come to demand from you. They require a lot of force. So the kind of energy that the banks use, the microfinance sector use on different individuals who like to access their loans in support of their businesses, that instead of supporting the businesses, they're actually putting down the business because their percentage is high. The interest rate on the loans that they provide is actually higher than what is supposed to be given in terms of support. Now, how prepared are we is that our model looks at, of course, guiding the women alongside the young people on how best can they access the loans from their very groups. We have not yet expounded on, because of the research that we've done, we've not yet expounded on the possibilities on how best can we bring actors on board that can really feed in what we have already created. So far, we've been able to support more than 900 women and youth in different communities of Uganda. But the loans that they are currently accessing, they are from their own savings. Remember, these people save on a weekly basis. So from what they save on a weekly basis is what they pool in terms of loans. Now, our take in preparing them for such a kind of opportunities, we see it not viable because the climate we are living in requires a collateral, which these very members don't have to present. For them, being in their groups don't require collateral because they are members. So what's the guarantee is that they are own members in the groups. They really understand each other, and we brought what we call harmony so that they can have that ownership of what we have created, which is different from the microfinance sector. It is very supportive. For example, when you look at the operations of BRAC and others, it's very supportive in uplifting the lives of women in different communities. But still, at our end, you realize that there is still a missing gap when it comes to business or tasks that are being performed by different models that are being implemented by different partners. However much they are trying to help, there is still a missing gap on understanding the needs of the community. Yes, they are helping, but there is still that missing gap of understanding the needs of the community from the grassroots before they provide their loans. And is it all about providing the loans for business and all that? The answer is no. We need to have what called the mechanisms of monitoring and how these loans are operating, so that now the payback period doesn't become hectic to different borrowers who attain these kind of soft loans from different microfinance sector. Women have not been able to gain fully from the microfinance sector. That one I agree, 50-50, if I may say. You realize that mostly these are men who have gained these opportunities, or who have gained from the microfinance sector. Why? We still have the patriarchal kind of setting where men are still dominant in business, and they're also dominant in different opportunities. As a CSO that looks at advocating for women's rights and also advocating for an equal distribution of resources, be it livelihood, we've gone ahead to encourage women to be resilient and also self-sustainable in a way that what we have formed, they really own it. Because most of the things, they're the ones who are taking care of most of the families. What about if they have equal access to these kind of opportunities? They will be able to do more if they have access to them. But what we have as a missing gap is that these opportunities are presented, but first priority is given to men, leaving out the women, which is unfair, of course. We've not seen an equal distribution of EMIOGA, and according to the evaluation you've done, a lot of paperwork has been done by different teams, which we have been able to evaluate on how they have been performing. Our members have been asking, how best can we also access such a kind of opportunities like EMIOGA? I don't think EMIOGA has a sustainable plan, because they may have been used as a trap to capture the minds of the Ugandans. But a question may be asked, what's the take of the EMIOGA after the elections period? And what is the sustainability plan? We have seen a lot of good plans that have been presented by government. Me, as an individual, I would wish if these EMIOGAs could be instead implemented by already existing structures of different CSOs or NGOs that are operating such a kind of settings of the Village Savings and Loans Association model. Because creating new models without understanding the mode of creation and the mode of operation is always a challenge. Many people think that EMIOGA is only way how they can generate fastest income, but not knowing that the income they're yearning for, at the end of the day, we've had people who are saying they have got 60,000 from EMIOGA, 60,000, and later on not utilized by them. Instead, they are asked to open up bank accounts and all that, but you know that what you have spent so far in the entire process, if I may summarize, it's not equivalent to what exactly you're looking at, because they're expecting free money. So we should break down the cycle of having access to free things. Instead, we work to attain those things that look like free. My recommendation is that one is to establish models that look at the grassroots person, understanding their challenges, and also bringing or planning together with the communities. The way to operate is, of course, to map out which organizations despite of being youth-led, remember there are those that are really touching the lives of people at the grassroots, but they don't have the resources to perform more tasks if they're doing the best of what they do best. Different opportunities that we presented to communities, but they still lack resources. That's one. Two, the trainings that we offer, they are really the demand is still high. So if there are partners who are outside there who really feel like they have what it takes, to offer services for free, because we don't expect you again to be paid for the services you're offering. If you're looking at community sustainable development, it's something that you offer in form of CSR, where we recommend the government to improve on the CSR, that's community social responsibility, in support of different ventures that have been put forward in support of community development. Remember, what's being done is in support of government programs. It's not individual initiatives. And also unity among the communities that we're working with, alongside the ones that have to change their mindset towards different opportunities that are being presented, either by government or by different NGOs or entities that are in their communities. The willingness to learn is also key when it comes to community work or development that is being brought steps of different communities. Thank you.